morning, Your Majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. And happy Tuesday. I have another story time for you guys. This one is called, sorry. You guys like my shirt? A shirt of the week. Ghost face. And I got my bracelets. I did my makeup. Okay. This story is called The Whispering Violin. Okay. And it goes... In the remote village of Shadowmoor, nestled sleep within a valley surrounded by towering snow-capped mountains, the people lived simple, quiet lives. The village, isolated from the outside world by the rugged terrain, had its share of superstitions and old tales passed down through generations. One such tale One such tale was that of the whispering violin, an instrument of haunting beauty and malevolent power. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, warning of the curse that clung to its strings said to have been soaked in the tears of a lover scorned and betrayed. Oh, what the heck? Esm was a girl with music in her soul. From a young age, she had been captivated by melodies and harmonies, find solace in the notes that floated through her mind. She had taught herself to play the old violin her father had left behind, spending hours each day practicing in the quiet of her room. The music a balm for her restless spirit, but the violin she played was old and worn. It sound thin and reedy, and Esm often dreamed of finding an instrument worthy of her love for music. One crisp autumn afternoon, as Ens wandered through the outskirts of the village, she stumbled upon an old abandoned church. The building was crumbling its walls covered in ivy, its roof sagging under the weight of years. Curiosity piqued. Esm pushed open the heavy wooden door, the hinges creaking in protest, and stepped inside. The interior of the church was dark and old, the air thick with a scent of damp wood and decay. But as Esm's eyes adjusted to the dim light, she noticed something gleaming in the shadows near the altar. Her heart quickened as she approached, her footsteps echoing in the silence. There lying on the dusty pew was a violin, unlike any she had ever seen. Oh Lordy. The violin was exquisite, its wood dark and polished to a rich, deep luster. The strings, through old, seemed to hum with a faint, almost imperceptible. Through old, it seemed to hum with a faint, almost imperceptible melody, as if they were alive, with the echoes of forgotten songs. Esm reached out to touch it, her fingers trembling with excitement. The moment her hand brushed the wood, a shiver ran down her spine, and she felt strange, almost magnetic pulled toward the instrument. Unable to resist, Esm picked up the violin, the weight of it comforting in her hands. She could feel the music within it, waiting to be released, and she knew she had to play it. Without a second thought, she carried the violin home, her heart pounding with anticipation. The evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains and the village was bathed in twilight, Azim sat by her window, the whispering violin cradled in her lap. She drew the bow across the strings, and the instrument sprang to life, her voice rich and resonant, filling the room with a haunting melody. The music was unlike anything Azim had ever played before, each note infused with with a depth of emotion that seemed to reach into her very soul. As Azim played, she began to notice something strange. The violin's whispers, once faint and distant, grew louder, more insistent. At first, she couldn't make out the words, but as the music swelled, the whispers became clearer, revealing the darkest secrets of those who listened. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I think those are just birds. Okay. The vil- The villagers, drawn by the sound of the violin, gathered outside Ezem's window, their faces pale in the fading light. They stood in silence, mesmerized by the music, unaware of the danger that lurked within the notes. But as the whispers grew louder, the atmosphere in the village began to change. The violin spoke of hidden affairs, of lies and betrayals, of long buried grudges and unspoken resentments. The secrets were twisted and cruel, turning friends against each other, lovers into enemies. What? Come on. Um, the villagers were their minds filled with the venomous whispers, began to argue and fight, the bonds that had held them together unraveling before Ezem's eyes. Ezem's watched in horror as the village descended, descended into chaos. The music still flowing from her fingers even as she tried to stop. The violin had taken the violin had taken hold of her, its whispers filling her mind, drowning out her own thoughts. She tried to put the instrument down, but it was as if her hands were no longer her own. The bow moving across the strings with a life of its own. So she wasn't moving the what do you call it? Good Lord. The violence, the violin's voice grew darker, more malevolent, and Asim felt a cold dread settle over her. The whispers told her of the violin's origin, a tale of a lover betrayed, of a heart broken beyond repair. The violin had been cursed by the scorned lover, its strings soaked in the tears of the broken-hearted. It fed on the misery it created, growing stronger with each note, each secret revealed. Wait, it fed on the misery it created, growing stronger with each note, each secret revealed. Oh, Lordy. Okay. Desperate to break free of the violin's grip, Esme tried to destroy it. She threw it to the ground, but the instrument did not shatter. Instead, it lay there. It lay there humming with dark energy. Oh my gosh. The whispers growing louder and more friend-sized. The villagers driven mad. The villagers driven mad by the secrets they had heard began to turn on each other, their eyes wild with anger and fear. Good Lord. Esme realized too late the true nature of the violin. It was not just an instrument, it was a weapon, a tool of destruction designed to tear apart the fabric of the village. What? Okay. Um, the violin would not allow her to stop playing, its curse binding her to the music. To the darkness it spread. As the final note rang out, the violin's whispers reached crescendo, filling Esme's mind with the cacophony of voices. Her vision blurred, her strength drained, and she felt her entire body collapse on the floor. The violin still clutched in her hands, the whispers faded into silence, and the village was left in ruins. The people, broken and scattered, their lives forever, altered by the secrets they had heard. When the villagers finally returned to Esme's home, they found her lifeless body. What? Oh, come on. They found her Jeez. When the villagers finally returned to Esme's house, they found her lifeless body, the whispering violin lying beside her. The instrument was silent, its strings still, its curse complete. The villagers, fearful of the violin's power, buried it deep within the earth, hoping to seal away its darkness. But the whispering violin was not so easily silenced. It lay dormant, waiting for the next musician to find it, to pick it up and play its cursed melody. The legend of the whispering violin lived on. A tale, sorrow, and betrayal, a warning to those who would seek to uncover the secrets hidden within the music. And the quiet of the night, when the wind howled through the mountains, some swore they could still hear the faint strains of a violin whispering in the darkness, waiting for the next soul to fall under its spell. That is so creepy. What do you guys think of that story? Oh my gosh, that is so, so creepy. Dang. Well, anyway, gosh, I don't know what's going on with my eyes. I don't know if it's the light or, okay. I turned it down because my last video I had it too bright, or maybe it's my makeup, I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made. And you're the king of my heart, and the song lyrics to Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah.